Yo, what is happening, folks? Welcome to Gameplay, the eSports show that keeps you in the know of all things high school and university eSports. It's your hostess that does the mostest. You know the deeds. Collins Manyame, aka Story in the eSports streets, and today it is our season finale, baby. 25 episodes and we're still going strong. And I mean, taking a look at this wall, man, the memories from when we first started, dude. I am so excited to give you more action in season 2, but before we get into any of that, let's end it off with a bang in season 1 in our season finale. So without any further ado, let's get into it. Alrighty, now jumping right in. This past week I had to sit down with a performance and mental coach for one of the local gaming organizations, chatting about a role that a few may not know about in esports and the importance that it holds alongside maintaining a good mental state in esports. This was a chat with Steven Vermaas. Let's take a look.
So my name is Steven Vermaas. I am a manager at Goliath Gaming, and I'm also responsible for player development within Goliath Gaming. Of course, player development is a pivotal role for us in the organization. We value and care a lot for our players, both like personal and professional development. So I oversee what that is one of our subdomains here. And when I used to game, it was under the tag Sugar Man. Yes, 100%. So look, I think you've already started to touch on it there. Like you say, some of our players are really young, still in high school, and others are much older. So not only is there like big variance with regards to the age of our players, but also with the titles they engage in, what day-to-day life looks like for them, what the other where they just relatively are in their lives and so forth. So like my approach to the players has always been very holistic and to kind of meet them where they are like that. So obviously there's many different routes you could go in with something like performance coaching, but because of this wide variance in players, I try to keep like a very just like general holistic approach to each player and try to just meet them where they're at. And spend time with each player, just recognizing like what are their needs, what are their interests, what are their areas that they're trying to grow or particularly struggling in and so forth, and really just try level with them on that front. Oh, it's everything. It's everything because it's like it's not only on comp day. It's like the quality and quantity of your practice leading up like that. It's in your mental state, like in all the build up and so forth that like goes into it. Because obviously on comp day, we understand you need to be like cool, calm, collected, focused, able to phase out everything. I feel like all of that comes from having like a wholesome and just a strong mental fortitude, in other words, you know. So I feel like in that regard, like that's something that needs to be developed throughout the training season. It's not always just a thing you want to be able to like flip on comp day, you know, like you want to practice how you're going to play in that regard. So for me, mental game is everything. We understand esports, it is very much a mental sport in that regard. So I think it's of utmost importance. Yes, 100%. I feel like this is almost inevitable that the paths between education and gaming are meant to cross. Like we know this from being involved in gaming, that it's essentially one of like the newest emerging like sports or sport-like engagement like that. So it finding its way into the schools has been inevitable, and we've seen some massive strides in South Africa through the likes of ACGL or the great work that ACE has been doing for bridging gaming into education. So I feel like yes, it's inevitable, and it's more the route or the approach we should be taking is how do we make this as impactful and as enriching for kids as possible. So I do feel like that, you know, on one hand it's about like upskilling the teachers, the educators, the extracurricular side, like to expose them to like what are the perks for gaming, what does wholesome gaming look like, how can we implement this in schools, how can we make it most relevant to them. And at the same time, the kids are they're gonna love it. It's gonna be like there will come a day where it's the most signed up for extramural around. I feel like we are already seeing this, like I mentioned, with just the emergence of high school leagues, the university leagues that have started adopting it. Yeah, it's inevitable, and I think we should be just riding the wave. And us as Goliath Gaming, we're of course open for it. We have been in contact and done work with various educational entities and so forth. But we open arms, like come approach us anytime. Like yeah.
Oh, very insightful. Thank you so much for the chat, Stephen. It's an absolute pleasure. And I'm so glad you guys get to know a new role in esports so you can understand just how intricate things can be and how important some roles may be that you may not know about. I've been saying it time and time again, guys. Esports is so much bigger than you guys may realize. And hopefully this gives you a bit of an idea, because I've been saying, y'all are sleeping on esports. If you think it's not the future, yeah, I'm here to tell you it is. But speaking of the future, and speaking of actually this year rather, 2024 has been an insane year for the ASL leagues. It's grown from 80 schools to over 160. And honestly, I don't see it slowing down anytime soon. But with that growth, there's needed to be a bit of stability, a bit of stabilization. So format changes have come into play for the new year to come. Now, we have the online leagues, regional finals, and national finals. 3 categories to be focusing on. The online leagues and regional lands will be what leads you to the national finals. There'll be various games available to compete in the ASL leagues in Term 1 and Term 2, and that'll allow for seeding into the national finals. So obviously, with the online leagues, you have your normal games, Minecraft, Valorant, Apex Legends, and so forth and so forth. But with our regionals, that'll be your Shift Gaming Experience, your Kuro Gauteng, and Western Province lands. So those are obviously determined by the league organizers. So I can't really give you an idea of what it'll be yet, but you at least know what you're going to be focusing on for your regionals. And then finally, the national finals and majors. That'll be the Kuro National Land and our notorious friend AGC. So at least you guys know what you need to be preparing for going into the new year. So now, let's take a look at some dates that you guys can look forward to. So starting off, let's give you some dates of what you guys can be looking forward to. Starting off with our online league. So signups will be open on the 15th of January. So keep this in mind, guys. If you want to sign your school up, if you want to be ready to be competing, get ready for the 15th of January. Signups will be closing on the 2nd of Feb. And games that are available: chess, Minecraft, Fortnite, Valorant, Rocket League, and so much more. So guys, so much games available for your school to be involved in. Moving forward, we have the Kuro National Land. This will happen on the 8th to the 11th of October. So this will be one of the majors that you've been looking forward to. Games available: Minecraft, Valorant, Overwatch 2, Dota 2, and many more to come. So make sure you're keeping an eye out on that and get yourself ready, get your school ready for the Kuro National Land. And remember, you need to qualify into this. So what's important is you qualify in your online leagues. And finally, AGC. Signups will be opening on the 24th of January, and that is my birthday. Anyways, signups will also be closing on the 30th of June. So make sure you're getting your school ready by that time. This is almost 6 months, guys. 6 months. You can't tell me, no, I didn't have enough time to sign up. No, you have enough time. I'm telling you now. 24th of Jan, signups open, and 30th of June, signups will be closing. And the event will be happening on the 14th to the 20th of July. Games available. Last year, it was EAFC, Rocket League, and Fortnite. But unfortunately for now, it is to be confirmed. So I can't really tell you what the games will be, but at least you know when it will be happening. But if you still want more info and you want an idea of when these dates may be happening or when any of these events will be occurring, head on over to schools.acgl.gg or email acgl@schools@acgl.gg. So you are ready and waiting for the new year of esports action. And now it is time for our player spotlight. So, bit of a magic trick. You guys didn't know I had it behind my back. Anyways, let's talk about the top 3 players for the esports season that know how to use a controller way better than I do. Guys, I'm a keyboard and mouse warrior. This thing, keep it away from me. But these players are the standout players, and let's take a look at who they are. Starting off with Rida April, signed to ATK Academy, only age 14. He represented his school this year, Think Digital Academy, playing EAFC 24. He's the McDonald's Gaming Championship EAFC 25 winner, second at the AGC ASL event, top 8 in the AGC Open Finals, 5th at the HSEL eDisky at Comic-Con Cape Town for the VS Gaming Leagues, and he's also a member of ATK. I mean, I don't know what to tell you. This kid is one of the future stars. With what he's doing right now and what he's going to be doing in the future, very exciting prospect. Now moving on to our second place, this is going to be Ruan Teacher Phil Yoon. 18 years old, representing Paul Roos Gymnasium for Rocket League. He's represented in the SSA RLCS with Team Unity coming 15th, 16th in Open Qualifier 1. He is the only high school player in SSA RLCS. Let that sink in. That is the highest level of Rocket League competition, and he's the only high school player there. He plays top 8 in the AGC Opens, and he plays first with his team in the AGC ASL with the PRG team. It is very sad to see that he's actually going to be leaving the PRG team, as he is going to be matriculating and moving on. But the legacy that he's leaving behind for the future coming up is really inspiring and definitely deserving of that second place. And number one, none other than Hamza Musa, my guest from last week, age 16, representing Marlborough Gardens Secondary School, EAFC 24. He won the Shift qualifier, advancing to the Canal Walk Grand Finals. Placed in the top 10 in the Shift Canal Grand Walk Finals, won AGC ASL beating Radar, placed in the top 64 in Africa in the EAFC Pro Regionals for Africa, and he is a member of Goliath Gaming. This has been an amazing breakout season for Hamza, and he is only just started. Exciting times for these three players in this year. They are our spotlight, and I'll say maybe Hall of Fame for 2024 season. And I'm very excited to see what they do 2025. Now it's time to take a breather, take a short break, plug in those controllers. Yes, I forgot to charge my controller. Don't judge me, it happens. I'm a wash gamer. Anyways, on the other side of this, I have some representatives from Oosmoed chatting to them about their season in esports. See you on the other side. What is happening, folks? Welcome back to the show. And now it's time for my special guest interview. One more time, join me in welcoming my guests today. They're from Hoërskool Oosmoed, and this is going to be Johan, their coach/manager, and Rocket League player Marku, aka Sponsor Bobas. How are we doing today, gentlemen?
Very good,
Very good.
It's very exciting to have you guys back on the show. I mean, last time you guys were here for the Student Showdown, and now it's time to just have you guys sit down and chat. But starting off, one thing I've been curious about is what actually got Oosmoed into esports, and how has your journey been so far?
Thanks for the question. Great to be here. So, yeah, in 2020, when I started at Hoërskool Oosmoed as a teacher, you know, COVID was there, and yeah, me and a colleague that are old gamers, we used to play in the DGL Dota scene.
Okay.
So, yeah, me and this colleague Driku, we had chats, and we heard about that some of the schools have esport at the school. So we started phoning around, getting in touch with PRG's JH, and yeah, he gave us some information about the HSEL, and so we went to our principal with a idea of, hey, we want to start esport at school. So yeah, being old gamers, that was the drive for it, and knowing that there is gamers in school. And yeah, and just incredible how HSEL and ACGL and MSSA, all those tournaments, you know, give the platform for school children to actually compete against other schools. So yeah.
That's amazing. I wouldn't have thought that, because usually it's just a thing of students or teachers would be like, hey, I play games, let's get into it. But it's like you yourself, you were like competing in previous leagues, and you're like, why don't I bring this to my school, you know?
Yeah.
And ever since then, the rest is history, right?
Yeah, no, so 2021, we started with like maybe I think 14 players, you know, small. We just did the HSEL with Rocket League and CSGO. And yeah, since then really just grew. Like this year we had about 80 active players in different, like 6 different games. So yeah, the sport has really grown. After last year, we went with Rocket League, we went to the finals, played at Comic-Con, and after that I went to the school board and I told them, listen, this is how big we are, this is the interest in it, so let's make it an official sport. So end of last year, Oosmoed made esport an official sport that we are promoting at school, so you can get colors, and yeah, just the correct recognition that the sport needs. And deserves, so yeah.
Are you working towards colors?
I got my colors, not colors, I got the stuff on my blazer. Got 3 already, so we're working on it.
Okay, listen, I didn't have I had like 1 badge, you have 3. But that's amazing though. So that's actually perfect, because what I've been curious about is you compete, and basically you're competing at a decent level, right? So it is very intense. How do you and the boys maintain that with your schoolwork? Do you have a schedule, and also do you have hobbies outside when you're competing?
The schedule is just me like organizing, because both of the players, they learn for the tests, but when we play the most, it's just at night times, grinding, doing scrims. But when we have tests, we don't play, because two of us are matric, so we can't.
Matric finals, guys. It's heads down. You need to be focused.
We can't mess that up. But most of the time, it's just me asking them when they're available. But night time, we play till early morning, we grind the game.
So it's basically you're essentially the team captain, you handle a lot of the scheduling and stuff. So as it stands right now, it does work out for you where you have a decent balance of your schoolwork, but also when you play Rocket League, right?
Yes, we have a decent balance. One thing before this, the exam mid-year, Jeff, my teammate, he had 2 tests the next day. The night before he got SSL.
Oh my God.
All of us were surprised, but he did good on the test, so it works out.
Yeah, that's perfect. So, Mr. Man, what I'm curious about is, what have you made of your 2024 season thus far with Oosmoed? You guys, competed in AGC, unfortunately came second, but at Comic-Con, you guys won. And it's been exciting for you guys, but what are you focusing on going into the new year in 2025? Is it player growth? Is it expanding into more titles? What does Oosmoed have in plan for esports in 2025?
Yeah, so just the recognition that we received this year, being national champs at Comic-Con, like I said, when we started eSport in 2021, HSEL, the grand final is held at Comic-Con. Like that was the dream to win that. So ending this year with the players winning that national championship really gave us new vision for the future. So a big check that we received for the school in the esports scene. So we are expanding into buying gaming PCs to actually be at school. So currently, you know, the kids play at home. You know, me as an organizer, I try and put in rules so that the kids don't always spend time playing games.
Needs to be a bit of a balance, right?
100%. So we make them sign things at the end of every quarter when they get their reports. If you have failed a subject, you're not allowed to play in that term. So there is some strong rules. I really just feel like the responsibility of me as a teacher, I love gaming, but I'm a teacher first and foremost. And to teach these players that is really something for the future, to balance. So helping them with that. So yeah, just ending this year on a very big high. We are planning, so we got a coach that we had for the Comic-Con finals. So it's the first time that the Rocket League team had a coach. We found a CSGO coach. So next year with the PCs at school, our idea is that the players at least once a month play at school for 2 hours, and we get a coach to actually coach them at the school. So yeah, that's definitely the growth that we're going to see. I know that, you know, winning the Comic-Con, placing second at AGC as well. We had a Waterkloof tournament where we also placed second. So the other kids see that. And those that are also gamers, you know, they don't really want to play for school, that type of stuff. But now the interest is actually being raised because, hey, these guys going somewhere. They're going to Cape Town. We went to Cape Town, went to Comic-Con. So yeah, that's really going to just skyrocket the growth for eSport.
Hey man, when I was in school, you know, there was things where it's like, I want to play in that, you know, won't really do anything for you. But now I feel like, especially with you guys, you know, traveling to Cape Town for AGC, for Comic-Con, for all of these events, right? It kind of gives those kids that feeling that, wait, I can do that. You know, I can get colors, I can get something on my badge, you know, it gives them that motivation. So is that been a bit of a sort of sweet moment for you as a teacher to see how far esports has come for your school?
100%. I mean, that moment that we won, it was, I don't know if you guys watched that final, but it was 2 Game 7, literally until second one, where sponsor Boba scored the fourth, we got 4-2 then, and at the end of the time, that moment that we had was incredible. I just knew that, you know what, this that we've built the last 4 or 5 years, actually, you know, I can retire, you know, give it over to the next organizer and actually, you know, leave something that's going to have a lasting effect and we've got a big ball rolling. So yeah, it was a sweet moment.
Fantastic. And speaking about sweet feeling and moments, so this is for you, sponsor. You guys won the Comic-Con event, and earlier in the year when you guys came onto the show, you know, before we even shot anything, you told me, you know, that's what you wanted. You guys lost out the first time, but you wanted to end the year off with a win. How did you and the boys feel after getting that win, and what does it mean to you?
The first feeling was at AGC, I told you, like, after the loss, this is not happening at Comic-Con again. And when we got at Comic-Con, the day of finals, everything just started, we started stressing. When we sat down, we won the first game 4-0, and like, okay, it's easy, but last year was also first game we won, and then they won every game. And then it went to 2-1 to them, and our coach told us a timeout. Then we did a timeout, and game 3, we had a 9-minute overtime,
Jeez.
which we lost, and that mentally drained us. And then game 4, it was also overtime, a 3-minute overtime. When there was one moment, there's an edit about it, Jeff doing the zero boost save in goal, it's saving us from the win. And then we just, after that, came back. Jeff started doing crazy stuff, and game 7, we were also 2-1 down, and then we just did a comeback and win.
And what does that mean for you? Is this something that, you know, you treasure most and you'll never forget?
I think this is the best memory of high school for me, because me and Jeff, I met him grade 10, we ended top 16, then it was second, and then I told him the only way forward is now first. And then when we won, the first thing I did, my earphones didn't break, it literally tore apart. I just gave him a hug and because we know it was over.
That is absolutely beautiful. And honestly, I think that's the perfect way to end this. It's been an absolute pleasure, and I'm so happy for both of you and your school to see how far you guys have come and what more you guys have in future. But guys, thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you, Scott.
Thank you.
But ladies and gentlemen, that is going to be the episode for today, guys. It's been an absolute pleasure. You guys have been making amazing waves, and I'm really excited to see what you guys have in store for us in 2025. Thank you. Thank you. But ladies and gentlemen, once again, as I said, this is going to be our season finale. Thank you so much for joining us in this episode. I'll see you next year in season 2. But aside from that, I've been Skara. This has been Gameplay, and we'll see you next year. Take care.